You betcha, bud.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Eh?
Oh yeah. Hey, did you by chance check out the Sony?
I did check out the Sony, Brendan. Like
You
the
did?
Sony, like the camcorders at the store down the street.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Yeah, that store. Remember that? Remember that place? Wow.
Man, remember it. Used to live there on Friday nights.
What a time to be alive.
Growing up, grabbing a box of Crunch. Or no,
Bunch of crunch.
bunch
Yeah.
of Crunch, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a great snack.
Ooh,
I hope they have those at golf clubs
popcorn.
across America. You don't see enough of those. You don't see enough
You
movie
don't.
theater candy
Underrated.
in the golf clubs. Because think about it. Movie theater candy is in the dollar store. You can get a Dollar Tree. It's a little dollar box. That's an underrated golf snack. We have to
Dude,
endorse that more often.
yeah, I mean, if you owned a golf club, that's all you would have is just fucking
Dollars.
convenience store and
Yeah.
movie theater candy.
Yeah. Anybody that was a member at Ryan's Golf Club would have diabetes. That would be a requirement.
100%, dude.
It would be like a club for diabetics to get better shape. That would be my golf club. That'd be my it's my $1 million business idea. Anybody who wants to jump in on that with me, a diabetic rehab golf club center.
I mean, dude, I might have to get diabetes just to like belong there, right?
Yeah, that's the
Could be
requirement.
worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one downside to this whole thing is that, it's such a good idea. America might be fucked because they'll
Yeah,
all
it's
be
it's
wanting to
such a
play
good
there.
idea. I might wind up with the next what's Tiger's thing? Chip and putt, putt and
Yeah,
stroke,
yeah.
putt and pop. What is it? Pudding pop? What
Oh
is
man.
it?
Pop strip.
Pop stroke. There it
Yeah.
is. All right.
Hey, it could be, man. I mean, yeah, it could be. That's a good idea. Sherm. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
We
man.
done it.
We done it again. Another episode. Brendan went and had himself a little warm up at a indoor simulator slash bar, which I
All
think
in
is
golf.
pretty cool. All in golf, you said it's called?
All in golf.
Mm.
Beachmont and Anderson, Cincinnati, Ohio. But yo, don't call them a bar just yet, all right? They're still working on their license. Let's not get
Oh.
them in trouble, all
Oh, it's a
right?
BYOB, right?
It's a BYOB.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
soon to be bar, I believe, at some point. But yeah, it's a cool little spot, man. They got like 4 or 5 bays. Um, if you are willing to pay for the monthly membership, you get like 24/7 access to the backtrack, the back bay, which damn, pretty dope, I think. But yeah, so went down there with a couple of the boys, and a lady, and we just hit the ball around, played some golf, skipped a couple different courses, hit different tracks.
Did you birdie? Like how did anybody do good? How did it what happened?
Uh yeah, I played fairly well, man. I've actually been hitting the ball pretty well on those. I don't know if it's a situation where I found something in my swing. I feel like it has been, or if it's just like I'm, a little bit of forgiveness playing on the indoor, um,
When's your next
back
scheduled
track
tee
man.
time?
Man, I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
getting
I
cold
can't.
out
I can't
there.
even get words out right now. You think I have a tea time scheduled? I
Y-
should.
It's getting cold, man. Ohio's no joke in the winter. You get chilly quick, even though the
Real
courses
cold out there.
but the courses stay well maintained. I will say that. I've been there in February with you to golf and January. I've been there in all sorts of weather to golf with you, and they keep the courses pretty damn good no matter what time of year.
Hey, we love golf here, man, in Ohio.
The Memorial. The Memorial is Brendan's.
Memorial. No, we do. We got a lot of golf courses to pick from around here, and I feel like to your point, they're all well maintained. We care about our product here. Um, we want our players to go out there and just really enjoy their experience, feel like they're getting a good bang for the buck. It's hard, it's tough, especially in this economy. The way the dollar value is to the euro, it's mighty deafening. But the good thing is grand larceny. It's all politics nowadays. It's crazy, man. Um, yeah, you gotta want to play good.
You
God,
sound
that'd
like the
be
guy sitting next to somebody at the clubhouse after a bad round of 18, after like 4 transfusions. That's that's the guy. It's that guy. Everybody's met that guy that you've just
yeah.
done.
You want to play good? You got to play good. Yeah, I think we played pretty good tonight.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know what the
Brennan's
hell I was
lost
talking
right now.
about.
He's lost in another world. But we're gonna
Dude,
bring
the point
we're gonna
is
bring him back.
yes, the courses around here for the most part, everything is based upon the weather, but we do a pretty good job of, keeping them playable or as playable as they can be. Um, but yeah, to your point, dude, it's been freezing. It's been freezing everywhere, man.
I'm wearing my Lulus tonight,
It's
and
unreal.
I'm wearing the Lulus in honor of our guy Minwoo Lee, who is just signing, inking deals. Just set himself up with a fine membership to Lululemon for life. No, I don't really know if that's the deal, but he did sign himself a nice sponsorship for an undisclosed amount that I don't know. But to get some
Dude,
Lulus
he's
to
a
be sponsored
monster.
as the first real like Lululemon golfer, that's pretty sick, man. And then Malbon's coming out with their golfers now. They're sponsoring guys. It's getting fun in the golf fashion world
Isn't
now
that
that
interesting? How like these two companies, these two brands, I don't think that either of them, to your point, has had any ambassador, for the game of golf. And here they are, basically at the same time, coming out of the woodwork, signing these deals, and there in the other corner, you got Nike and the Tiger partnership after 27 years, taking a dive, and we don't know.
what's going on with golf
We talked
brands.
about last week, what's going on with golf brands, what's going on with Nike. There's some big moves going, man.
What's going on with a lot of these brands? A lot of these brands are making big moves, big shift ups. But I think that you're going to see a lot of these, um, you know, again because of the gap that Live created. But I mean, think about the tournament this weekend, the American Express. Swafford and John Rahm are both Live, and they're both gone out of this tournament. So
Yeah.
kind of strange how a guy who's collectively they've both won 4 times on this tournament and they won't be able to participate for whatever reason because the PGA and Live hate each other and they're not coming to some agreement yet. But it's crazy to me to think about that, but then also think about it in a sponsorship level. Now you see these deals start to be forging with new companies fresh out of the woodwork. It's not like Melbon's new to golf. They've been attacking golf for a
Yeah.
long time, but it's just I think now that they have officials in the game, like you said, like a real stake in the game, they're getting PGA champions. They're getting older guys. I think they're going to have a range of golfers on their spectrum. But the funny thing is about it is that
Hey,
Lulu,
how about the shitty ones?
yeah, even them, they're going to get
Call
picked
us
up.
up. Call us
Call us
up.
up. We'll sponsor you.
Yeah. You can sponsor us. You're welcome to.
Oh yeah, to sponsor
Yeah,
us. I
yeah,
thought we
yeah,
were
yeah.
sponsoring the shitty
No, I
golfers.
mean we could be sponsors, but it'd be closer to like AA.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be there for their friendship whenever they lose. We'll be there to crack a
Yeah.
beer with them. But I say that this Lululemon and Malbon doing golf at the same time isn't a problem with ambassadors because A, there's enough to go around, plenty, and B, I think people smell some blood in the water now with Nike now that they've lost, and C, for the final point, they're two totally different styles. Lululemon's like a tight, nice, like tight fit, and Malbon's
Yep.
like a nice, like fun, relaxed,
Yeah.
more like a baggy fit, but they
They're
both
like
work
different eras
and they're
almost.
exactly. They're like both different eras of golf in their own modern style. So I think
Yeah.
that they're not really competing with each other anyway. I think people would have both. I'll have both. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up because I gotta shout this man out and throw my apologies because I felt like after, you know, some feedback from last week, it sounded more like I was ragging on my man J Day a little bit and his new fit. I wasn't trying to. I was saying it was just different. It was different than what we've seen recently, and what I was saying by eras, it's kind of that more old school, relaxed,
Yeah,
relaxed
like the
fit.
Arnold Palmer days.
Yeah, yeah. Or as Chef Petty was pointing out, when we were talking about Tiger Woods and how he, wore at the players, it was the more baggy fit, shit like that. But anyways, yeah, Day, Jason, dude, I kind of am starting to dig it. The more I look at it, and to your point, Sherm, who wouldn't want to play golf in pajamas, you know? So I
Who
get it
wouldn't?
now. I'm coming around. I get it.
I think that you're going to see a couple more of golfers jump ship too to these brands. I don't think they're done yet. I don't think they're anywhere near done. I think they're going to keep getting players, no problem. And like we said, if Nike is letting go of the reins a little bit to their players they do have deals with, then you're going to see more people jump over quickly. So I think that's totally possible. And uh,
Could be.
this week, I love that we're seeing the PGA come back to form. Like I feel like by the American Express, this is when the tour like the year really starts. It is the first mainland tournament, so it kind of feels like the first US
What are you
tournament.
saying, bro?
It's the first US tournament on the mainland,
Oh,
dude.
Hawaii is not U.S.
Not on the mainland, dude. Get out of here.
Dude, what about like being inclusive and equal and stuff?
No, man. They don't want to be with us, man. We're different, man. They
Mainlanders.
we're mainlanders, dude. They want their peace down there. I get it. But we're
Yo,
doing the American
before
Express.
we move
What?
on though,
What?
we got to shout them out. Those 2 beautiful weeks of golf out there. We saw a variety of, different playing styles. We saw a lot of top tier talent. We saw some new talent. We saw some low scoring. We saw some great golf, is what we saw,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
was beautiful.
to recap. Yeah, just to recap. I mean, to talk about last week. I didn't mean to like jump full into MX, but I was just going to talk a little bit.
No,
But
you're excited, and
I'm
that's all
excited.
right,
I'm
dude.
excited.
That's okay.
But no, we can chat a little bit about it. I mean, it was a crazy week last week, right? Playoff at the end, big time, and the leaderboard shifted a lot. You could have made a bet at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock and been mad at your bet or thrilled with it in a couple hours later, and then had to
Yeah,
change it again, and then change it again. It was a wild day for betting golf. The leaderboard
dude, it
switched
was it
hands.
was crazy. It was exciting. It was an exciting tournament of golf. It was an exciting weekend of golf, but that Sunday final round was one of the more fun ones I've watched in a while. Just because, to your point, there was so much scoring happening that you just didn't know who was going to get hot and who was going to get cold, and that's what we saw at the leaderboard. We saw a number of names that were up there early start to fade, and then guys that didn't seem to be around just keep creeping their way back in, and then you know we end up with the playoff, which is always fun, but to have a 3-man playoff is even better.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't see
and
too many of those throughout the year, so it's nice to
no,
see.
no, it was awesome. Keegan Bradley, I mean, he had a chance to win it in regulation. He hit one, gave himself a chance to putt. He didn't make it, and the other guy did. Um,
Well,
so,
same thing happened too. Yeah, that happened twice too, and then we had another missed putt, and
oh,
yeah,
my man Ben on, dude.
yeah,
I was rooting for him. I can't lie. I love the other two
he was
guys
the
as
one I had
well.
my money on, my actual money
Same.
on,
Yeah. So
literally.
like
So
I
yeah, it was a
had
crusher for me.
he was one of my guys that I was throwing at a DraftKings, and so I was rooting for him. Felt good about him. I thought he played great. And when he snuck that ball in to what, like 8 feet, and then Grayson had that 38, 39 footer and ends up nailing
I
it.
mean, it's
You're
just
like, what the
that's
fuck? But
just
then Ben could knock his down.
what about that tagline, that storyline though for Grayson Murray? I mean, come on. You go through this whole turmoil, your struggle through addiction with drinking and all this stuff, the battles he's went through and the stuff he's talked about. And then you go through the players meeting that was all controversial that got so much attention where he was the one basically shitting on Jay Monahan saying, "Hey, this guy is a dirtbag. Like, what are we doing here? This is
Right.
ridiculous." And Rory's got all piping down his back. Hey, calm down. Just play better. Well, here you go, Rory. Here's your little silver platter. Now your turn. Now it's your turn to win one, Mister. Like he just kind of
Oh
shoved it in his
man.
face like a little shit sandwich. And I kind of
Yeah.
like that Rory has to eat that now until he wins. And I'm not saying he won't go out and go win one quick, but he has to win now, or else he's going to look silly.
Well, you saw what happened with him this week in Dubai, right? He
Yeah, yeah,
he was actually, I mean, he and Fleetwood were going after it, but he ends up putting one dead hooks it basically into the water on 18,
yep.
and Fleetwood ends up, beating him by one stroke, I think. So yeah, I mean, play better. I mean, it definitely comes around. At the same time, oh man, you just don't know all the different shit that, Rory's had to deal with. The pressure he had at that point
No,
in
I'm not
time.
saying, yeah, I'm
He
not saying
basically
anything
had a
about it.
fist in his ass,
I'm just thinking like it's funny, like at that point, like it's just really
Yeah, oh
ironic.
yeah.
Like that was probably, and if we think about it, if we rewind the moment, like we rewind, that's probably what, and I'm not going to take this away from Grayson's like work ethic and drive and what he's done probably for the last year, but I'm sure since that happened, that was a pivoting moment for him. And I'm sure when they interview
Put a
him,
lit
he
lit a
might talk
fire
about
under
it
his
or
ass.
exactly. I think it lit a fire under his ass and he started to get going like, "Oh, okay. All right. Fuck you." Like cuz that's what I would have done if I was him and I don't blame him. So, I think that him winning is great. I think these kind of stories on tour is great. I think the human aspect of it is great and telling that story is great cuz that's more relative to the average person and I think will be better for the game of golf in turn because that's what helps more people relate to the game, come to the game, become more included in the game, or feel more included in the game if there's realness behind it, or stories, or people's real, feelings and values instead of just like, oh, there's an athlete, oh, there's a sports guy, oh, he gets X amount of points. I appreciate him. You can invest more
Yeah.
in that if there's a storyline or if there's like a, you know, I
I think there's plenty of them out there.
yeah,
Everyone's got a storyline.
Michael Block. Like there's a ton of these guys that just came out of the woodwork that had these stories. You're like, whoa. Um,
Well, that's what's awesome about Full Swing. I think Full Swing and some of these other, docu-series quarterback, I think they're doing one now for the NBA. I forget what it's called. Um, I think these just they're giving us a glimpse of like the everyday life of these guys that we don't typically get to see. And you get to see that there are those stories, behind the woodwork.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see some of these other guys. One guy I've been impressed by this season so far. I know it's super early, but I'm looking forward to the future. Is Akshay? We've talked about him before.
yeah,
Akshay
yeah,
Bhatia.
yep.
I think he's a player, man. He's been playing really well. Interested to see if he keeps it going 3 weeks in a row here.
You know who I'm excited to watch all year, and now I'll put stock on him all year and say, hey, light it up all year. I've been saying it, but you can rewind it. JT Poston, dude.
Oh yeah, the postman. He's been
Dude,
balling,
are you kidding me? Guys
ball
had two top
striking,
five
and
finishes
yeah,
or two. I think one was either way. Yeah, he's been incredible. I mean, the
yeah,
guy's been absolutely on
he's
fire.
playing great ball.
I think he's going to keep it up all year. I think that's a special kid. I think you're going to see him light it up. Um, get familiar with that name and definitely start betting on that name on top tens. I think it's almost a guaranteed top 10 at this point with the way he's playing. Um, so just throwing that out there. Guaranteed. All right, maybe
Just to let you
guaranteed top
know.
20, but I would still put it in the top 10. So
Hey, I speaking of top 20s, top 10, shit like that. Um, I think this tournament upcoming this week is stock full of a bunch of guys that you like, and it's all a situation made for each and one of them.
yeah,
Sung J M,
Sun
Tom
J.
Kim.
Yep.
I think the Asian players this week are gonna feast. It's a high
Yep.
scoring,
It's
typically, or excuse me, low scoring, should I say, tournament. So a lot of those guys are shooters. They go low.
it's going to be a full on shootout. I mean, there's not going to be any win. The course is going to be easy. There's ranked as some of the easiest courses on tour. Pete Dye design, which everybody loves the Pete Dye designs. And
It's an interesting tournament.
I think that you're going to see everybody shooting lights out. It's going to be a total shootout. Xander, Ricky, Fowler, Tony. I think you're going to see so many guys just playing lights out. Cantlay, and then like we said, these like Poston and these new guys that are not new, but these guys that are younger and they're
New to
lighting it up.
me.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of good golf this weekend. I think you're going to see a hell of a lot of low scores, like you said. Sunjay M, Sam Burns, like there's so many
It's
guys.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of low scores. There's going to be a lot of great golfers playing this week, but uh, it's an odd tournament of the season because they
It is.
play, it's a 3 day and then cut versus the typical two. And
Yeah.
then at the same time, you're playing three different courses over those three
Hmm.
days, and not everyone's playing the same rotation. That takes effect. Some guys get the easier course on good conditions, others don't, things like that. So,
Yeah, it does make a
um,
difference where
yeah,
you kind of
it's
sit, where you get lucky is kind of where it gets you a little advantage
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, I'm looking at guys that ball strike, well, are accurate approaching the green, giving themselves opportunities. And the guy that gets hot with the putter, because I think in the past, Rom has even said it turns out to be a putting contest. So it's really just who you feel good about giving themselves enough opportunities to make putts, and that one guy that's going to get hot this week.
got to watch out for that Chris Kirk, dude. He might come out of nowhere.
Dude, I love
And when
little
I mean not
Georgia
come out of
boy.
nowhere because he just won, but like he might
That
continue
sounded odd
this.
coming out.
And yeah, I don't know, but I think you're going to see a lot of talent this week, and it's going to be a hell of a golf weekend. This tournament used to be, just to say, the tournament used to be a, I believe, a 90-hole tournament. It was a 5 day, and they changed the format in the 2010s. I think it was. They changed the format up and turned it down, made it down to 3 day, and
I'm
now
sure it was like, you know, no offense, but the wives out there just were like, dude, like you can't golf for 5 days. Like,
like you're
like we got to
not
shut this shit
doing
down now.
this. The coalition was just
Yeah,
outside with like
yeah,
signs and shit. Just
yeah, just picketing. Um,
you know
yeah,
who we didn't
that's
mention?
wild though. What's
You know
that?
who we didn't mention
We
through
a
all
lot of
this?
guys.
Well, yeah, but no, I think we've mentioned a fair amount. I mean, we've named like fucking 20 of
I
them
mean,
that'll do well,
we haven't named
but
all of them though. That's the
not
problem.
all, not all 140 whatever,
They
what
all have a chance.
156 players.
So
But
shout
Siwoo
out
Kim,
Car Yan.
past champion. Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo, yeah, dude, another one of those guys that like it seems like those tournaments that you have to go out and shoot low. The scorable tournaments are the ones that some of these Asian players like to
Dude,
play.
South Korea is just
They're aggressive. You know,
dominating the golf world. Good for them.
you
Just
mentioned it.
dominating. Yeah. I mean, shout out. I think Sanjay has a serious chance too, you know. And
Dude, Sungjae for sure. Tom Kim. I mean, he still played well in his previous tournament. He just didn't play to his standards. But to end the season last season, he had a number of top tens. His ball striking was elite. I think over the last like 6 months of the season or something like
yeah,
that, he was ball putting up better striking numbers than Scheffler, I believe. So
past yeah,
the kid is young, and we've talked about how good he could be and how good he is. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of time putting it all together.
Past
And then
champion. Yeah. Adam
Scheffler's
Long too.
playing. Scheffler's playing, and his putting's been getting better, and I think he's going to have a major season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many good names, man. Adam Long, past champion, he's in. You're gonna see guys like Streelman play well. And then you got like these like fringe guys that were always in and out of leaderboards, like a Hubbard or a Buckley or somebody like that. That's more of a value play. Um, Callum Tarrant, like these guys are value plays that you could throw some quiche on too. But I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to watch all weekend. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I'll throw out a value play too. You probably haven't heard about him, but he's the Frenchman Pavon. He's been making cuts. He played last week, played pretty well in another tournament that you got to go low. So I don't know. It could be another a sneaky eye there. So just keep in mind. And then Eric Cole, dude. Eric Cole has been balling. He's had a number of top tens. And his numbers right now, his ball striking is elite for this
I like his
season.
confidence. I like that he's like posting on social media. He's like getting
Yeah,
involved. He's being fun. Like that's it's nice when you start to see a guy dial in like that. That's like how it reminded
yeah,
me of Cam Smith when he started dialing in. He was just
yeah.
being
It
funny and
might
like
not
having a
last
good time.
forever,
And
but
yeah,
because he's definitely playing above his average by far. And he's playing unreal right now, and it could fall off at some point. But like he's just playing so well right now. It's like, yeah, you got to go with him until the
right.
wheels fall off.
Yep, ride the highs, man. That's
But
it. That's it. Ride the
that's it. That's
highs.
all, man. But
That's all, folks.
so what's up with you, man? You like got anything going on this week?
Just gonna
You doing a
start
little golf?
trying to get out there
What
to
are you
golf, but
working on right now?
it's been such bad weather. It's not work, it's bad
You
weather.
putting?
New
You
York. I've been
putting?
putting a lot on my
Good.
little putting at home. I got a 9-foot little putting machine that I showed you guys a couple episodes ago. That thing has been getting some serious work in. Probably do about 25 putts a day, but just getting it after. I'm gonna film it, start filming it.
I'm gonna film myself.
I'm gonna film myself putting for you guys because I know
Damn,
that's
dude,
what you
I
really
hope you're
want to see.
clothed.
Definitely gonna be clothed, probably in pajamas, like I'm wearing right now, wearing polar bear
So
pajamas.
Malbon, yeah, let's get a look at what you'd look like for an ambassador for them.
I wish, man, that'd be amazing. Amazing. We do have a new clothing sponsor for the Good Lies Golf podcast. I will say, exciting to announce. We do have Adam Marr sponsoring the Good Lies Golf podcast. So shout out to Adam Marr Surf Shop in Montauk. Guy's the man, and he has a sick shop with amazing clothes, and you can golf in them. You can golf in the threads. He's got fresh stuff, good gear, and sick shop. Open year round in Montauk. Check it out.
I don't know if you heard that, but I just did like a huge drum solo.
Yeah. We'll tap that in on the editing. We'll tap in a huge drum solo there.
Sick, dude. Because like I'm just not musically inclined at all. So if you can make it sound cool, that'd
Perfect.
be awesome, man.
Perfect, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to get out there if the weather gets better, and we'll see. We'll work on our game, and we'll friggin' come back next week after we talk to maybe Chef Petty if he comes on in for a little episode, or one of our guests.
Ooh,
Got everything
chef
cooking.
it up, man. Yeah, sounds good, bro.
All right, brother. Onwards and upwards, my friend.
Check you later.
Later, dude.